Shout out to Cats Pod.
1 second. A good defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? We are fully back. We are back right now. I know everybody has missed us so much. This is Ben Christians with the salacious Eric Lauver.
I don't know what that means, but it is good to be back, man. It's been weird, 4 or 5 weeks without doing one?
I know. It's like we're getting back on the horse again, and I don't know if I know how to ride a bicycle.
Cue Aerosmith back in the saddle.
Yeah. We're back in the saddle again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just because you have a microphone doesn't mean we're...
You know, I have to sing. If I have a microphone in my hand, it's something I just really have to do every single time.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we're back, and there is some Bobcat stuff to talk about.
Yeah, there's a couple things.
Yeah.
Couple things are happening right now. Spring football has started.
It has.
So we're getting kind of excited about the season starting, even though I'm trying to temper myself right now not to get too crazy.
Yeah.
Thinking about the possible future of these Bobcats, but it is definitely exciting to know that they're back on the field together as a team.
I have been looking. Tickets to New Mexico aren't unreasonable.
I would think they're not unreasonable, and I think that's something we're definitely going to have to look into. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I have been looking into it.
I know you have, but, you know.
Yeah. No, it's spring ball's back. Everybody's posting videos and pictures of themselves working out and taking reps, and you got to rein in a little bit because we're still a few months away from real football starting. Yep. But boy, it does get you excited to see this stuff, and year 4 of Tommy and all these big guys that are coming back and have, what we expect to be huge seasons locked and loaded.
And all these new coaches and stuff, getting to know the team throughout this spring football, that's got to be a great time. I would love to see Chucky Keaton out there with them. I don't think I saw him in any of the hype videos, but I also love that Montana spring football is under a foot of snow.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was a foot of snow that they were practicing in, and I was like, that is very much Montana. And, we kind of use that to segue into the facilities that are going to get our boys out of the snow.
Yeah, if they like playing in the snow, you're going to have to reserve that for late season game day, I guess, because – the recent news is that they've got $25 million secured for the new practice facility, indoor practice facility.
Bobcat Nation shows up.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
there's a lot of generous donors out there, and every little bit does help in the grand scheme of things. And they hit the 25 million mark out of the 26 million. So it's happening, and that it's going to be awesome. They're going to be able to do more. Do more, practice more. They're just going to have more opportunity to just get better. I think personally, it is going to help the football team immensely. You get them out of the elements a little bit. There is a certain extent sometimes which you can expose yourself to. It's going to be pretty cool.
I don't know, Eric. I think you need to get off my lawn real quick, because I think that this indoor practice facility is just going to make the boys soft. I think we're making these boys soft, and they are not going to be ready for game day if they're practicing inside. They are just not going to be ready. You're supposed to suffer, okay? Football is about suffering. It's not about having fun. It's not about having fun in an indoor practice facility, Eric. It's about suffering.
I'm here to tell you, from somebody who works outside every day of their life, sometimes it just does suck.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't practice outdoors.
No, No.
I'm a soft boy.
I know. So my dad, he goes to the dentist office that's right next to the football stadium there, and so he's been sending me pictures of the scoreboard construction going on. They got all the big machines out there, and it's gonna be big.
It looks huge.
It is.
It looks like it's going to completely block out all of those windows on the other side of the stadium. Like, anybody who is used to watching the game over there is no longer going to be able to watch the game over there.
Yeah, it's big. It's gonna be so awesome to actually have. Not that the other scoreboard wasn't a good one, but this one is a great one.
Yeah, it's just a whole different level to it.
Yeah.
So does this giant scoreboard stop them from being able to close the rest of the stadium, like make it a full arena?
Well, I don't know that they necessarily need to enclose the whole stadium because it's going to, as far as noise-wise, if they build up on, the other side, if they put boxes on the other side, get that higher up, and then they fill in those corners.
Yeah.
Get rid of I know the beer gardens are there, and that's somewhat popular, but if you enclose those corners and build that up, and then you have, they have those locker rooms or whatever right there, and then they put that scoreboard up, it should keep the noise in and essentially act as, how many, I don't know that you need that many more seats, but
I just want to start breaking some of these Washington Grizzly records. I just want to put in one more seat than you can put in Missoula. That's all I want is like one more folding chair than they can have over there, just so that I can talk some trash. That's all I need.
Well, we got to give them something.
Nah, I don't want to give them anything. I don't want to give them an inch, Eric. I don't want to give them a single thing to brag about at all.
Yeah. No, it's going to be cool, though. When they get that scoreboard done and they get that indoor practice facility, all that is a way to get better players, more players to Bozeman.
It will bring in, I'm sure that some recruits are going to be really impressed by the new practice facility, and I'm sure it's going to be very nice. And it will add a lot to the school.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
it is. And the new scoreboard is going to be awesome for replays and everything like that.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, it's all very cool, and I'm super excited to see it when it's done. Mm-hmm. But did you have any other football news, really?
Any other? No, not really. Talked about spring football and everything. These coaches coming in.
Yeah,
it's got to be exciting. But really, that was about it as far as Bobcat football goes.
Yeah, well, at least we had something.
Yeah.
We had something. That's exciting.
Oh,
That's exciting.
I did hear that it's not Bobcat football news, but Clifton McDowell entered the transfer portal again.
I saw that. Yeah, some technicality or something like that to cause him to enter back in.
Yeah.
That's got to suck.
So not everything is good over in Temple, apparently.
No, not everything is good in Temple, and the transfer portal giveth and it taketh away from the players themselves.
Yeah. Do you think the Grizz are going to bring him back just so they can stack another quarterback on top of Ayat right now?
Oh, that would be.
They signed 3 quarterbacks?
It was just 2, I think.
They signed 2 quarterbacks. They got Ayat, and then they bring back Clifton.
Yeah. Let's make it 3. Let's
80s,
make things.
The 80s super bully, Clifton McDowell, comes back into the room, and they're like, we thought he was gone.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, and I'm really, I haven't dug too much into what exactly caused him to enter back in, but I'm kind of surprised because it seems like the transfer portal is somewhat foolproof.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often where people commit and then re-enter the transfer portal right away. It's kind of a weird deal.
Yeah. We saw it with our dude over in West Virginia.
Yeah.
We saw the rough side of the transfer portal happen with him, but eventually it worked out in his favor.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
it was all good there.
And he had a heck of a season.
He definitely did. Showed out.
And speaking of our Bobcats, I feel like we have to dredge up the L we took in the first round of the
first 4, not even the first round. Yeah, it was tough.
But hey, it was a nationally televised game. I had friends from Iowa State that were watching the game on national television, which is pretty cool.
We don't get a lot of that. We got the one ESPN2 game this year, which was cool, especially beating Weber State.
Yeah.
And also our boy Roger Fisher getting his sign and just getting all of the airtime on ESPN2. He was all over ESPN2, and I love to see that. But it was just honestly, the Grambling State game didn't really hurt me that much, just because of what a great run it was in the Big Sky Conference tournament.
Yeah, it was super cool, but man, I think I got to disagree a little bit.
Yeah.
That one hurt. We were up by so much, and it just they looked so good.
Yeah.
They were on fire. They couldn't miss, and then they just broke down.
Yeah. They were in control for a majority of the game, it felt like, and it was disappointing to see it fall apart like that. But you got to think, you go through the tournament, and they beat the Grizzlies for the Big Sky Conference championship.
I'm not saying that wasn't spectacular.
That is enough for me. That is enough. As far as I was concerned, as soon as we got to the tournament, we were playing with house money. I didn't really care about anything that happened. You're going to go hopefully play against Purdue and get shellacked by Purdue because they've looked incredible in the tournament, even though I hate it so much. I just can't. I can't stand watching them play, but I
just thought that primetime win would have been so cool, just to get that win in front of, I don't know how many people were watching, but I assume probably a fair amount.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was all over everybody's TVs. So, I don't know. I just thought that we had it, and they looked so good, and it all unraveled. And then they go to overtime, and it was a bit of a heartbreak.
Oh yeah, it definitely hurt a lot. Honestly, one of the things I was thinking about through most of the game was how excited I was to hear Pat McAfee talk about the Cats.
Yeah.
The next day on the Pat McAfee show, because they covered like the first 4 games, the first night of the tournament pretty heavily, and I was like, it's going to be cool when they start talking about Robert Ford and all these guys. And then I was like, I can't even watch this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can't even tune in and try to enjoy it. It hurts too much right now.
I mean, I really do feel like we need to bring up Robert Ford a little bit, because when the team struggled, he didn't.
No.
That dude is on another level. You can tell.
He's a killer.
I mean,
in every way, shape, and form.
He has such a stroke, man. I mean, from anywhere on that basketball court, he's hitting threes. He has incredible moves. I mean, he's a rebounding machine. He just does it all. And even when things get rough, he continues. He's the only reason they were in that game in the end.
And every time we really needed a bucket, it was always Robert Ford, it felt like.
Well, I was texting you during it, and you said, "In Robert we trust."
I was like, Robert Ford's got us.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you right now, Robert Ford the third has us. He's going to pull us through this. And then he smacked like 3 threes in a row.
I know.
I was like, I'm a genius. I know everything.
Oh,
and
man,
then it all fell apart.
He was hanging that fist up there, and I was like, we're not going to lose. There's no way.
Buckets,
yeah,
just some straight gooseneck buckets out there.
But we lost. But
yeah, that's something that we are saying a lot. It feels like.
Yeah, but
I don't enjoy it.
We got a banner for the field house, so that's cool.
3-peat, baby.
Yep, 3-peat. We weren't even supposed to be there, so that was a pretty cool run through the Big Sky tournament. We get the banner, and that was that for the big dance, but it was a fun ride.
Yeah.
Super fun ride. And Danny Sprinkle won his first tournament game. That was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. And I honestly was thinking that they were going to struggle some more in that first tournament game, but they played pretty well throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
They played well enough to get Danny Sprinkle another contract.
Great segue.
Shout out to the guys that got Danny Sprinkle another contract by winning that game.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and did you see that his buyout from Utah State was $3 million?
Yeah. That's more than a sprinkle.
Yeah.
That's a downpour.
That's a dollop.
That's a downpour right there.
Yeah, $3 million to buy him out from Utah State. University of Washington wanted him, and they made that a point. I mean, and that's awesome. In 2 seasons, he went from Montana State to University of Washington.
Yep.
That's awfully impressive. And I feel like, everything I've seen online, Bobcat fan-wise, has been really positive about Danny Sprinkle getting the University of Washington job. I'm super happy for him. I know you're super happy for him. Bit shocked that he didn't stick another season there, but
I thought it'd at least be a couple, but
I mean, this guy, he walked into Montana State, took a terrible team. Terrible. Let's call a spade here.
Yeah.
They were awful.
Yep.
He turned them around, won 2 Big Sky championships,
Yep.
took the job, continued. I mean, he inherited 0 points scored and took his team and won a tournament game.
And was ranked in the top 25 most of the year.
Almost the entire year, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gets what every basketball coach wants. I mean, if you're a basketball coach, the idea is to move up.
Yep.
At some point, if that's your career,
Yep.
it is to move up. And once you're a head coach, the only way to, there's lateral moves don't do you any good. It's got to be up. So, he did what anybody would do. And, that's – I'm a partial University of Washington fan now. We got Seabass and Danny Sprinkle.
Yeah, Seabass and Sprinkle.
Yeah.
All over there. Do you know which conference Washington is supposed to be in next year?
Well,
I can't remember where they fell in all the changing going on.
Well, I think Washington ended up in the Big Ten, didn't they? I can't remember exactly how that whole thing shook out, but I
wanted to say Big Ten, but I wasn't sure.
Every one of those teams ended up somewhere else. So.
Yeah, I think the only ones
that
were struggling were Washington State and Oregon State, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, they all went to. They go to the Big Ten.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
They go to the Big Ten.
Yeah, so the Big Ten is terrible at basketball. So let's go, Danny Sprinkle.
They get to play against like Purdue and Ohio State and Michigan.
Well, Purdue's the only one with any real success, in recent memory, really. I mean, Michigan State is still riding on the coattails of older success.
Yeah.
They really haven't done anything spectacular. I don't know.
I always like Wisconsin, though.
Iowa tries once in a
Big
while.
Ten.
Wisconsin usually has a really decent team. Not so much this year, but
Nebraska's coming along.
Yeah.
with the Asian Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Asian Steph Curry.
And they have your former coach, too.
Yeah.
Or do they still? Do they still got Hoiberg?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I haven't heard otherwise.
Yeah.
Iowa, they try once in a while. They had that big guy a couple years ago they made it tried to make a run with him, but for the most, and Michigan, oof.
Michigan has fallen off hard.
Oh my gosh, did they ever?
I feel like they can only be good at one sport at a time.
Yeah.
Like when basketball is good, football is terrible. And when football is good, basketball is terrible.
Well, Juwan Howard has a terrible season and he got fired for it.
Yeah. And
legacy.
Honestly, I thought that was a terrible move. Like, I really like Juwan Howard as a coach, and I know that he had some incidences where he got too jacked up in these games and said some stuff he shouldn't have, or would yell at the players. But overall, as a coach, I thought he was really effective.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the Big Ten. I have no faith in the Big Ten, and I still don't. I know Purdue's in the Sweet 16, but
yeah,
I don't believe in them at all. None.
Even after they just keep crushing teams, you still don't believe in them at all?
I still think they had a better all-around team last year, and they got smoked.
Yeah, that is true. They got beat by the 16 seed. We'll never forget.
No. I don't know.
And if Montana State would have played them, they would have gotten beat by a 16 seed again.
Yep. Exactly.
The Purdue was so lucky that they dodged us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were so lucky that they dodged us.
Logie was going to figure it out right there.
It's easy to figure out.
Lock down Edie and you're set.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it would have been a tough day for old Lekalot and Olmstead to guard Zach Edie, because they both probably would have had to guard him the entire game.
Yeah. That was it. That's all they can do.
Yep, just double team him the entire time.
We're
taking him out.
You stay in his face no matter what. Give up point. Make him score elsewhere.
Anybody else can score. Just shut this dude down. Except that doesn't work, because then he's just going to shoot free throws the entire game.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
the
much.
way every ref treats Zach Edey, like he's 5'2".
I'm telling you though, the Big Ten is overrated. If you have a really good coach and can attract some decent talent, but maximize it, I think that you can. I think Sprinkle can do a good job. I mean, we have already seen what he can do.
Yeah,
playing at the next level, or coaching at the next level.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna. I mean, he's proven to be a good recruiter. I think he's gonna be successful there,
and he's gonna have even more resources now.
I mean, the chances of him winning a national title at University of Washington are slim, very slim, but.
I mean, as slim as anybody to win the entire tournament, it's always a slim chance.
I feel like if Washington makes it to the tournament, they'd be happy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For a while, at least.
I think Utah State was pretty happy with that, too.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And they got a win in the tournament, so even better.
They got what they wanted out of the Sprinkle.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, the Iowa State's still dancing. Sweet 16, baby.
Oh, yeah, they're doing well.
They are on a collision course with UConn. I don't like that. But
I do not like that at all. You know what I hate, though, is I started hearing like the grumblings and everything about how UConn is so good that they could beat like Eastern Conference NBA teams.
Yeah.
Which is so ridiculous. I hate that
terrible.
narrative every single time. It just pisses me off so much because nobody realizes that like the 12th man on the bench on every single NBA team would be the best player in NCAA by far.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they would destroy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a fully different game.
I mean, we can appreciate UConn for the well-coached, very dynamic team that they are, but they're still college kids. They're still young.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes time to develop that next level. And, as far as contenders left in it, honestly, I wouldn't say UConn, if they assuming that they win games they should, I don't think that they're like the rest of the top seeds couldn't knock them off. I really don't.
They're still in the toughest part of the bracket there is.
Yeah. I mean, Iowa State's a bad matchup.
Stronger than every other region.
Iowa State's a really bad matchup. If those two teams meet each other, I mean, Iowa State has the guys that can score inside, but they also have shooters, multiple shooters. So
they're a much more balanced team than last year. They have every opportunity to be able to do this thing.
Yeah. That's enough of the tournament. This is a
football podcast. Yeah.
Getting back to football here.
Okay.
I have a new reason for being excited for college football.
What's that?
Because it's real football, not like the NFL.
Not like the that's the take we're going with now.
I'm telling you, man, all these rule changes they're making in the NFL makes me I've always hated targeting in college football. I've always hated it.
Yep.
But that doesn't look so bad anymore compared to this new hip
drop tackle.
Good grief. I mean, even the NFL guys are pissed off about this rule, so it's like
the only people that aren't mad about it are the coaches.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
I was like, the only people that don't care about this are coaches and owners.
I don't get it. And like, I understand we don't want anybody to get hurt ever. But football has got to still be football. I mean, you sign up to bang around and hurt yourself. That is the name of the game.
As somebody who loves offense and loves overs, I'm a big fan of this new hip drop tackle rule. Because every single time a tight end catches the ball across the middle, if he gets even with you, he doesn't even have to pass you. If he gets even with you, how are you supposed to tackle him?
Yeah. And
how are you supposed to tackle Travis Kelce if you can't hip drop on him?
I don't know. And this is one thing that I can appreciate about college football more than anything. And I honestly think this is why I had such a hard time with the NFL last year. Yeah. I just was not into the NFL other than my fantasy football teams. And it's the football rules are more – the real football is more applicable to college football than it is to NFL anymore. I mean, these guys are still out there pasting the crap out of each other on any given play where the only rule in college football that you can't do is targeting.
Yeah.
And that used to drive me crazy, but now targeting, it's nothing compared to what you get in trouble for in the NFL now. It's like you said, how do you stop those gigantic guys going down the middle, have a foot of separation, and the defender could grab a hold of them, but he can't drag him down from behind anymore.
You can't. That's the whole thing. And then I hit every single one of my overs.
Yeah.
All of my overs that didn't hit last year, it was because of hip drop tackles. I'm pretty sure. Every single time I didn't hit an over, it was because of hip drop tackles. The one thing I kind of would like to see them change in, like, from the NCAA that they just changed in the NFL was the new kickoff rules.
It does look cool.
Just because I want to see what our boy Marcus Monaco could cook up.
Yeah.
I feel like he could cook up some stuff for a kickoff return, especially when, like Brendan Hall's going to put it wherever you want it.
Yeah.
Wherever you want that ball. You know, and then defensively, you cook some stuff up, and offensively, you can be so creative with it, and the teams that are going to be creative are going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, I do think that it's going to be it's going to make the kickoff actually fun to watch.
Oh yeah,
instead of watching it bounce out, all the time,
or every single time it's a touchback.
Yeah, very rarely do you get to see any kind of excitement other than. But this way it's going to be much more entertaining, and it'll be fun to see some kickoff returns.
Yeah,
because it's going to happen. But what happens when somebody, starts streaking down the sideline, and the only way to tackle him is to hip drop tackle? You just have to let him. You just have to let him walk away from you.
I was thinking more of, like, if somebody gets past and then the kicker is really on an island now. Yeah. The kicker was on an island with the former setup, but now the kicker is on an island. Like, the kicker might as well just run to the sideline just to avoid anything that could happen if he tries to tackle somebody open field like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the poor kicker is going to get embarrassed a few times. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Because there's going to be nowhere to hide.
Unless they hip drop, and then it's just 15 yards.
Yeah.
That's the one time they're going to say, hip drop them, drop them. Save the touchdown. It's just 15 yards.
Do you think a kicker even knows how to do it? A hip drop tackle is a pretty athletic maneuver.
It is, yeah, that's true.
You got to run up. You got to, like, suplex a dude backwards on his own ankles.
Yeah. Yeah. No, honestly, it's just one thing I appreciate about college football so much is that they still follow the football rules, and they don't turn it into flag football. Yeah, because that's where we're going in the NFL.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh God!
Get off my lawn!
Get off Eric's lawn! He's here. He hates these rules. They don't let anybody play football anymore. Okay, I see how this is going. Is this going to be all NFL season long? Is this what I have to look forward to?
I don't know what to say about the NFL, man. I had a hard enough time getting into it last year. It's going to be even worse this year, especially when we have to watch the Bobcats win every weekend. It's just going to be tough.
It's going to be so tough,
because I'm pretty sure
tough waking up on Sundays after those Bobcat W's.
Yeah, especially since the Vikings are going to be really bad.
Maybe. I don't know.
They don't have a quarterback, man.
Yet.
They
don't have a quarterback yet?
Yeah. They're going to go get J.J. McCarthy, and we'll be in the Christian Ponder era all over again.
I think J.J. McCarthy's a little bit better than Christian Ponder, okay? I don't think that's exactly it.
Well,
I was thinking Penix might be interesting in that spot, though.
Yeah. Penix could launch some bombs to Jay Jettas.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you have Justin Jefferson, any quarterback is going to work.
That's true.
Yeah. And you guys scheme really well. Like, your offensive schemes seem to get people open that everybody knows. Like, everybody knows the ball's going to Justin Jefferson. But he somehow is still open.
I mean, and I can't blame. I know Kirk wanted to stay in Minnesota, but the Falcons just gave him their checkbook and said, write a number down, and Arthur Blank just signed his name underneath it.
I don't think that was it.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's the wife always wins. The wife always wins in every single situation. He wanted to stay in Minnesota. Her family's in Atlanta. They go to Atlanta.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Just because you guys are whipped doesn't mean it doesn't mean everybody.
I'm thinking
is.
That's how it goes. I'm thinking that's just and that's just the fact of it. Like that's like a statistical thing. Is people live closer to their wife's families than they do to the husbands.
What about you?
What about me? It'll be equidistant.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You know? That's anecdotal evidence, and it doesn't count in this situation. You know, equidistant.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm closer by like 3 blocks.
You know, you brought up Chucky Keaton earlier.
Yeah.
And you know how you were saying he was a UFC fan?
Yeah.
I wonder what he thought about that bite that happened.
Oh, that was wild. I couldn't believe it.
That was so weird.
And Dana just hops in and he's like, "You're gone forever."
Yeah.
Like, that's all we're going to do now. You're just done.
And the guy that got bit, he gave him, and I quote, bite of the night bonus
Yeah.
for $25,000.
$25,000. And then he tattooed the bite on his arm and got another $25,000.
Yeah, he got $50,000 for getting bit.
I'll get bit for $55,000.
Dude, that was a wicked bite though. That
Yeah.
was so deep when he showed his arm and they took that picture of his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It was
my
ugly.
gosh. Could you imagine biting someone like that?
I mean, no, I don't bite people. That's not something I just do, you know. But I did have flashbacks when I saw that picture. And I don't want to tell you what I had flashbacks of.
You
But
brought
it was a mark on somebody else's arm that happened during a football game this season that people have constantly been sending us pictures of for the last 3 months. It was the laces.
It was the
laces on the arm of the blocked kick that wasn't even going to go in.
Oh yeah.
It killed me. Every time I saw that bicep picture, I was just like, okay, it's an NDSU guy.
Yeah.
You know? It's an
Yep.
NDSU guy right there. NDSU fans are just still getting at me. Still getting after me every
Still
single
getting
second of
under
the
your
day.
skin.
Yeah, every single second of the day.
Oh, yeah. I saw that picture of that bite, and it's like, woof.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the worst fouls ever.
Mhm.
Like,
Just stupid.
I mean, I was a wrestler, and occasionally, you get, your arm gets in somebody's face. Occasionally, you get teeth marks on your arm,
Yeah.
but not top and not bottom. I mean, this guy had to physically spit his mouth guard out,
Yep.
which I feel like is not super easy to do without actually pulling it out with your hand.
No.
And then latch on. And he wasn't even losing the fight. That's a crazy thing.
He just decided, this is what I'm going to do. This is the next move.
I tuned in, and it was, it wasn't entertaining, and it was close, but he was not losing.
No.
He just bit him for no reason.
Just decided, like, he was hungry.
He wasn't even, like, getting choked.
This man was hungry.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to stay hungry out there in the octagon.
Yeah,
You can't fight. You got to fight on an empty stomach. You got to fight hungry.
Lifetime ban.
Lifetime ban. Never going to see you again. Sorry. Maybe we'll see you in Bellator at some point. You know?
Bellator, the PFL,
Yeah.
the next league down.
We'll have to talk to Chucky Keaton.
Yeah.
Actually get his take on this or anything whatsoever. I just think he's an electric human being, and I want to talk to him.
Yeah, it would
That's
be pretty
it.
fun.
Yeah.
It would be pretty fun.
As we're getting closer to football season, I think we might be in a better time to actually start setting up some of these interviews and everything.
Yeah, I think, speaking of getting closer to football season, it is really hard to not be overly excited about playing, this New Mexico game.
Oh, yeah.
Like getting to showcase these guys in front of everybody against an FBS school. I'm pretty excited for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
And it's a game where we feel like we have a really good chance.
a really solid chance to hang with them, if not beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited for it. I would love to go.
Oh, yeah.
It would
I
be.
would love to go, too.
It would be pretty cool to get down there and actually take that in. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the Bobcat fans would travel pretty well to that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We could find some people to hang out with for sure.
Yeah.
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 It'd be pretty great.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, all that being said, we are finally, it feels like we're closer to Bobcat football.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
We are getting there.
It's spring is in the air. We're going to have a football game here pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Going to get to see some initial depth charts come out and figure out who's on the field and who's not on the field and see some of these younger guys get on the field. It's it's exciting to finally be back in it.
Yeah, I think the Sonny Holland game is on like April 20th. I want to say
Yeah, something like
something
that.
like that. So it's coming up. You know,
Yeah, they're getting ready, and
next month we might be able to get to see this team on the field a little bit.
yeah, really just kind of see how everything is going to mold together and who's going to be taking the reps more specifically.
Yeah. Because everybody knows, like, at the top, might as well start from the top. Like, Tommy is going to be QB1, and it looks like there's probably not going to be a 2-quarterback system next year.
Doesn't feel like it anyway.
Coach Vegan said they're not going to force it to be a 2-quarterback system just because that's what worked for him in the past.
Yeah.
That was personnel driven completely.
Yeah.
We might see some Jordan Reed out on the field. We might not. But I think that Tommy is really just going to have full control of the offense. And hopefully his rehab is going well, and he should be fully ready for that.
I really do think the offense is going to change a little bit too. I don't think it's going to I mean, I feel like the running backs are still going to be heavily involved.
Yep.
But as far as, running Tommy constantly, it's kind of hard for me to believe that that's going to be really a thing considering the options he's going to have at receiver.
Yeah.
Because not only do we get all our studs back minus one,
Yeah.
but we get all these new kids coming in, and the name's escaping me right now, but the guy who was fighting the portal last year, he's going to be there, and he's a total stud. Mm-hmm. So to me, it kind of seems like we're going to see a lot of Tommy as like a true quarterback.
Yeah.
It is what it feels like to me, knowing full well that we have Scott Ray Humphrey and Julius Davis sitting right there ready to run the rock.
The deepest running back room in the entire country.
Yeah.
And so there's not going to be a lot of need for designed runs for Tommy. I could see some scrambling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think we're going to see a lot less designed runs.
Yeah. I could see Tommy getting a lot of freedom, basically.
And it's also going to be a much different offense just because Taylor Housewright is no longer here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think there will be some continuation of what the old offense was, but I think we're going to see a lot of new blood. We have a lot of new blood in that offensive room in general.
I feel like you brought up Taylor Housewright. He is not coaching.
Yeah, he's not.
Said personal reasons.
Personal reasons, yep.
Yep.
I wonder what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be anything.
We wish him all the best, but yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. He gets the chance at the next level.
Yeah.
Same position coach at the next level, and then walks away from it.
Mm-hmm. Is Akron really the next level?
Yeah, Akron's FBS.
Hey, I mean, yeah. But is it like the next level?
I mean, if you reduce it to the basis, it is. But,
as far as I'm concerned, FBS is on the same level right now. They don't really impress me that much.
Yeah.
Especially New Mexico.
Yeah.
They definitely don't impress me very much.
Back to my mind's all over the place. So
yeah.
Back to these depth charts that are going to be, starting to show themselves a little bit. The tight end, that's my most interested area.
Oh yeah.
Where they're going to land there. Do they they showed what seemed to be a lot of faith in Hunter Province last year.
Oh yeah.
But then they bring this kid in from Maine who appears to be a total stud.
Yeah.
Not to mention there's a couple kids that were freshmen last year that have the size and the speed that they could be very incredible tight ends too. Which one of them gets the nod?
Mm-hmm. It's probably the most interesting room to talk about.
Yeah.
Going into the season, because it will have a lot of decisions to be made.
Considering we lost our two.
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Also, the fill-ins on the offensive line will be interesting to see how it shakes out.
I feel like that's the one spot I'm least concerned about because of the depth we already had.
Yeah.
We had so many guys that, like, you know, what we lost, I feel like isn't going to hurt us, I guess.
I'm not concerned about it. I'm just excited to see who fills in those spots. Is it going to be people that were currently on the roster?
Yeah.
Is it going to be new signings, transfer portal guys? Who are we going to bring in here to fill in those spots? Because there are some very important spots. And also on the defensive line. The defensive line, too, there's some big gaps to be filled, and we still have a lot of studs. Don't get me wrong. But there's going to be a couple positions open. And who is going to be the ones to step up and actually fill those spots and fill those gaps and get straight to the quarterback?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I really hadn't thought about the defensive line, but there could be a lot of change there aside from the obvious studs that are still here. Mm-hmm. I feel like, and even like their backups, I feel like could be different names. Yeah. So I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Who's gonna emerge on the defensive line?
Mm-hmm. The secondary saw a lot of name changes too.
Yeah.
We signed a ton of people in the secondary, and I'm excited to see where they're gonna fit in as well.
Yeah.
So those things are all very exciting going into this season, and very exciting to see what happens with spring football and, like you said, those initial depth charts that are going to come out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ben has this thing pulled up on the screen here. So the logo design contest for Gold Rush 2024 T-shirts.
Yeah. You guys might as well not make any submissions because it's already won.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Whatever
we come up with, it's going to be great.
It's going to be pure gold.
Pure gold. Pure gold. Pure Gold Rush.
But
what was your initial idea, Champ?
Champ riding a horned Hereford bull.
And we put like Champ with a cowboy hat on and like chaps and spurs and everything.
I mean, who leads the team out?
The horses.
They do.
Yeah.
The rodeo team.
Yeah.
What's more cowboy than a horned Hereford bull?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I was going to say skull pouches.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to win with a skull pouch on it.
I was going to say black velvet.
Yeah.
There's nothing more rodeo than a shot of warm black velvet that's been sitting in somebody's horse trailer all day.
Yeah. That sounds delicious.
It's delicious. Let me tell you, it really hits the spot.
But I guess what we're getting at here is this could be really fun. I feel like if anybody is actually still listening, throw us some ideas here.
Yeah.
We'll give credit. We're not scared of that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it together if we think if there's an idea that's really good, we'll put it together, we'll submit it. Could be super fun.
Obviously, I don't think we can put like the Cat's Pod
on
the logo. I don't think they're going to let that fly.
I don't think so.
But if we actually submitted the winning logo for the Gold Rush T-shirts, I think that would be the biggest win we've ever had.
Yeah, I think so too.
It would be huge, and just like posting it everywhere and telling people that we made the design, and then also hearing all day long the day of Gold Rush, people thinking the shirts are terrible. Yeah. We're just sitting there like, yep, that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
But if we design the Gold Rush T-shirts, then I can't wear this jersey that's sitting right behind me to the Gold Rush game. I would have to actually wear a Gold Rush T-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that is the perfect jersey for Gold Rush.
It is the goldest of jerseys.
It is so gold.
It is so gold.
You would have to get nominated for the Pure Gold Award from the university for wearing that.
It already is pure gold.
Yeah.
I think there's a patch on the inside that says, "You are pure gold." You know? Me and Roger. Me and our boy Raj. Pure gold.
Pure
through
gold.
And through.
Pure gold. You know? Yeah. Well, you got anything else, Ben?
No, I think we're good on that. If you guys want to send us in ideas for this, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
We should crowdsource this logo, this T-shirt. I think that might give us something to win with.
We are going to submit something.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys have any ideas, throw it out. Like, throw it to us. We'll put something together, and it could be pretty fun. And hopefully we don't have too much of a deadline. Do you know what the deadline is?
April 19th, 5 p.m.
Oh, we got time.
Accepted until 5 p.m. April 19th. So yeah, I think we're gonna win this thing.
We'll submit at 5 p.m. on April 19th.
4:49.
4:49.
Just like all of my papers in college, it's gonna be submitted 1 minute before they were due.
Yeah, they of course were done 2 weeks before, but they didn't get submitted.
Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah. That is definitely how it went.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening to this one. I know we've taken a few weeks off, so we really appreciate everybody who welcomes us back right now. We hated taking any time off from this so much. I really did miss it a lot. I don't know if you
I did too, yeah. I will take the blame on that. We had our bull sale, and there just wasn't enough hours in the day to try and get a bull sale together and done and over with, and also try to spend an hour recording a podcast.
Yeah, it also didn't hurt that there was absolutely nothing going on
the
entire time. There was absolutely nothing to talk about outside of Bobcat basketball, which is not really our forte at this point.
I think next year, probably middle of February, we'll be taking a small hiatus again.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's going to be our season break from here on out. We appreciate everybody for listening. Go ahead and rate this 5 stars wherever you are listening to it at. Go ahead and follow us on X and Instagram. And just make sure that you keep supporting us in any way that you feel is possible. Send us in those T-shirt ideas. We would definitely love that. We are going to win.
Time.
We will win.
Big
the
time.
Podcats will win.
Yes.
We know this.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Any questions, too? Let's get those questions in.
New season, new questions.
Yes.
We definitely need all of them.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys listening. I hope you guys have a great week. We will see you guys later.
Adios.